Brokey thinks she funny, but it wasn't funny when she
in my ass.
y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Asia. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment, share it, do all that. Okay, and please ignore my hair. Like, literally, I just slapped this thing on my head. It's not customized, it's not laid, because after this video, baby, it's coming right back off, so I didn't feel like doing all that. But yeah, okay, so basically I was messing with this girl. We gonna call her Brokey, okay? So her name is Brokey. We met on Facebook. One day she just kind of slid in my inbox or whatever, and originally I wasn't really trying to talk to her. Like, I was really dubbing her shit, like dubbing her like crazy. But eventually she got me because she had this really nice personality. She had a nice personality. She was making me laugh all the time, and that's the key to a lot of girls' heart. If you can make us laugh, then bitch, we basically yours at that point. We really hit it off. So, you know, we was talking through text message and we was FaceTime and all that, like, every single day. And then it was cool. We just chilled or whatever. Nothing really special. I didn't get any red flags from her or anything like that from the first night. Obviously, on the first night, you're not gonna know no red flags. You're not gonna see anything that's off from them, because when you date somebody that's toxic, they're literally perfect in the beginning. In the beginning, they're like the most perfect person. It's later on in the relationship where you start seeing all the red flags, okay? So I'm gonna get there. All right, we was cool for like a good, I feel like we was cool for like a good 2 weeks before stuff started getting left, basically. I'm trying to get right into like the red flags part. So, okay, there was this red flag, right? She had this ex. This is our first time having issues now. So she had this ex before me, right? I guess they was talking for like 3-4 months or whatever. We gonna call her Goofy. Might as well. I'm gonna just call her Goofy. Goofy ends up messaging me on Messenger, because me and Goofy were friends on Facebook as well. And Goofy ended up messaging me on Facebook when she found out me and Brokey were dating. And she sent me all these screenshots like, oh yeah, she's still in my messages. She's telling me all this, and that. And it was like a whole bunch of messages of texts between them, like as if they still fucking with each other, you feel me? So I'm editing the video and I go back to my messages and I actually found screenshots of me and Goofy's messages, so I'm going to insert them now. I see it and I'm like, oh, word? All right. So I had get the screenshots and I send them to Brokey, and I'm basically like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like, what is she even talking about? You still talking to her? And Brokey's like, oh, she faked those messages. She faked those. She used a fake number and a fake Gmail. She texted the messages to herself. And like, she really convinced me, because she was like, she basically demonstrated how you could change somebody's contact and put like a different phone number or a different iCloud email or whatever. So she showed me that that's how it's done, and I'm like, okay, so obviously I'm gonna believe my girlfriend. So I'm like, okay, so I went back to Brokey, and I mean not Brokey, I went back to Goofy, and I'm like, you faking emails, you faking text messages, like you really ain't got no life, like y'all broke up, get over it. You with me now, that it is what it is, like get over it. You going too far for that. Like, what's the point of you making up fake text messages? Like, who really does that, you know? Till this day, I don't know if those text messages are real or not, but don't care no more. But the real red flags started coming later on, y'all. So Brokey had all these female friends, and Brokey, I'm gonna be real, at the time she was, I guess she a stud. She just a plain stud now. But at the time, there was one girl that came in later on, and I had caught them. Like, she never told me about this girl ever. Like, the only reason why I had suspicion of her being with somebody else, not being with somebody else, but like entertaining somebody else, was when we was out at Walmart. I forgot what we was doing there, but we was doing something at Walmart. And she basically, I don't know if she got on the phone or if she was like declining phone calls. I'm not sure, but I had her phone. I told her to give me her phone, and I went to her call log, and I seen mad missed calls from this girl. And she told me, she was like, Brokey was like, oh, I'm telling you, she calling me, I'm not answering the phone, that's all that right there. And I'm like, sis, you think I'm stupid? Do I have stupid written on my forehead? Clearly, you're only showing me the missed calls part of your recent phone calls. Like, if you have an iPhone and you go to your recents, you could either choose all of your contacts or you could choose just the missed calls and see what calls you missed. She had me looking at the missed call log. I'm like, I'm not dumb, sis. Like, I'm not stupid. So I had clicked over and I had saw all her phone calls. Turns out she was on the phone with this girl back to back to back to back. So I'm looking at her, I'm like, really? This what you doing? This is really what you want to do? For real? So I'm like, bitch, I'm not stupid. Don't ever try to play me like that. And she like, oh, she called me and then the phone kept disconnecting. That's why we got so many phone calls, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that don't even, cut it out. Cut it out. Because that don't even make sense. Because y'all was, when I say back to back, I mean like, they literally had numbers by the contact name. That's how many times they called each other. And even that is still more context of just her underneath that. So I'm like, y'all had to be calling each other a whole lot for her name to be on here so many times, as well as the freaking numbers being by her name. So I'm like, you talking, like, is that what you're doing? You talking to behind my back when I'm not around, when I'm at work, when I'm at home, you talking to like, really? And don't get me wrong, like, the girl is cute. Like, she is a cute girl. But at the end of the day, I'm your girlfriend. So I don't care if the bitch was Beyonce. You don't disrespect who you're with like that, period. Like, so I'm getting mad. I'm like completely ignoring her at this point. I'm like, you really got me fucked up. You're on the phone with different, and now you're on the phone with this new non-stop. Like, you on the, her name showed up more than mine did. Like, yeah, we was with each other in person most of the time, but like, that's so disrespectful to really be doing that to you. Then they were on the phone again, late night, early morning hours. So there was this one time, right? We were at her brother's house. We were at her brother's house and we were laying on two different couches because sleeping on one couch was uncomfortable. Her brother only had a one bedroom, so of course he was in his room. So she had called her. I was sleeping, but I ended up hearing Brokey's phone ring. And the girl, what should I call her? I'm gonna call her D. D ended up calling Brokey on her phone. It was early in the morning, like literally everybody was sleeping peacefully. And of course Brokey answers the phone. And they don't really say nothing suspicious or anything like that, but it was just a simple fact that this girl felt comfortable enough calling you at all times in the morning. Why is that? So they're on the phone and I'm just listening because I'm trying to listen to see if anybody says bae, baby, or anything that screams side chick. I was waiting because I was gonna pop if I heard anything of the sort, okay? So they ended up having like a really short conversation or whatever, but they ended up getting off the phone. Nothing really was said that much for me to be able to pop off about them being friends or whatever. So I ended up doing something I never thought I was gonna do, and I get up and I grab her phone. I already knew her password, so I put her password in, and I was basically looking through the text messages of her and D. And I don't really remember what the text messages say, but I just remember them being like a little flirty with each other, and I really was with that because I feel like at this point you're hiding shit from me. And so when she woke up, I went through the text messages and they were too flirty, they was too friendly, and I wasn't feeling that. So I had put the phone back and I went back to sleep. So later on in the day, we both wake up and I contact her, and not contact her, we were with each other. I confront her about it, and I'm like, I went through your phone and I saw your messages between you and D, and I'm really not feeling that. So if you gonna play with me, you might as well be by yourself, because I'm not the one to play with. You feel me? Brokey, she's like, oh, you only went to my phone messages. Did you go to the messages on Messenger when I was telling her that I have a girlfriend? Oh, I think what they were saying to each other in text messages, I think D was telling her that she likes her, and they were telling each other that they like each other, and something like that. It was something in that area. So yeah, she's like, you went through my text messages, but did you go through the messages on Messenger? And I'm like, no, because I feel like I saw all I needed to see on iMessage. So she opens up the Messenger messages, and she's basically telling D how she has a girlfriend and that she wants to be with her girlfriend. She's in love with her girlfriend, meaning me. And at that point, I just felt stupid, because I'm like, okay, so she is dubbing this girl for me, and she is telling this girl that she want to be with her girlfriend or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I guess this will slide. But I also forgot a part. This is why I started being even more suspicious about this girl, was because I have the girl on Facebook too. Me and the girl were Facebook friends before. So she was, she wrote this stat, and I guess her and Brokey was commenting back and forth on it, but I don't really remember what it was saying. But it was kind of like Brokey was kind of being a little bit flirtatious with D, and D had tagged me in it. And I saw it, and I'm like, really? Like, you doing this shit publicly? Like, that's really pathetic, because we already went public. Everybody knows that we're together. So don't be on another girl's stat being flirty with her or whatever, and then she really gonna tag me in it so that I could see it. Like, that's disrespectful. So I was mad as saw that, and that made me grow more suspicious, which is why I went through her phone. And we basically clarified that up, where they thought they were just joking, it wasn't that serious. And I'm like, if it wasn't that serious, then why am I being tagged in it? Like, that's just being petty. Don't do that. Don't do that. I was basically made to look stupid this whole relationship. I'm just trying to tell y'all, like, the red flags. I'm gonna go into, like, the real juicy shit soon, okay? Actually, I'm gonna just go into the juicy shit. Who gives a fuck about the red flag? This is where, like, the real toxicness starts. And this is what happened to me, okay? So one day we were in the mall at JCPenney. We literally stayed at JCPenney because the girl, like, she always fucking sold out of JCPenney. So we were at JCPenney, and we were in the locker room together, you know, just taking pictures, you know, doing shit or whatever. I said locker room, we were in the dressing room, just taking pictures and, you know, just being a couple. You know, we like to have fun. We were a goofy couple, so we had always did fun shit, funny shit, goofy shit, whatever. So we're in the locker room, we're taking pictures in the dressing room mirror, because that dressing room had a mirror in the actual room. You know, some dressing rooms have mirror. Anyway, we was taking pictures in the mirror, like, doing all types of shit. It was all fun. It was all cool, right? So tell me why one day we had gotten into a fight. I don't remember what the fight is, because when I say we got into a fight every day and broke up every single day, I mean every single day, that I can't even remember every single argument that we got into. But we had gotten into an argument, and Brokey decides to post a picture of us in the JCPenney dressing room. I'm like on the floor, and I'm pretty sure it was because, like, I was trying to put my pants back on. So I was on the floor, and she was standing behind me, and she took a picture, right? Tell me why is she gonna post the picture on Facebook, put a dog filter over my face, and caption it, I had her on a leash, had to set her free. And it really looked like she was behind me on a leash, and so she put the dog sticker on my face. And everybody seen that shit. Like, everybody thought it was funny. Everybody was sharing it. Like, it got to my family, because my cousin, I think my little cousin, it was me, two of my little cousins, and my little brother. We were all standing outside on the porch. And my little cousin shows me, and he's like, this you? And I look, and I'm like,
oh, hell nah.
Like, now you're not about to get me like that. That was so that's so disrespectful. Like, yeah, it was funny, but it was disrespectful. Like, you don't do no shit like that. And my cousins, Boo and Kiana and them, like, they were furious. They was mad as fuck. Like, So I'm like, okay, you want to do that? Okay. So I'm like, I wrote a Facebook status and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna say her name. Brokey thinks she funny, but it wasn't funny when she
in my ass.
like, bitch, you ate. And I put that on Facebook, and like everybody thought my stat was funnier than her stat. And she was real mad about it. She decided to call me at like 3 in the morning, telling me, like, trying to threaten me, telling me to delete the stat. I'm like, bitch, you're mad because I got you harder than you thought you would have got me. So that was one situation, and she was really the type of person to always put stuff on Facebook. Like, she always put shit on social media. Every argument that we had, every fight that we had, she would put it on social media, and people would know our business. And she made me out to look like the bad guy, which was so annoying because she was the one doing all this dirty shit to me, and she made it seem like I was doing all these bad things to her, and she was such a victim. And that's really toxic. And if you have somebody who's for the media, leave them alone. Leave them alone, because they're going to do whatever they can to trash your name and make themselves look good in situations like this, okay? Leave them alone. Another situation she did was putting our business on social media was this one time, right? Okay, so there was this girl I used to talk to before Brokey. And we're not going to name her because she's not too relevant to this story. But me and her, we talked for like 2 weeks. Not even like a week. We didn't even count it as us talking. We was just getting to know each other and all that. So Brokey knew about her because Brokey ended up meeting her. And the only reason why Brokey met her was because me and the girl, we met through a mutual friend, and who was my friend since middle school. My friend and the girl met because they lived in the same apartment complex. So they became friends, and obviously I met her through my friend. And basically I went over to my friend's house, and the girl was there getting her hair braided, and I was there with Brokey. So that's how they met. That was so funny because when we left there, I was basically me and the girl, okay, I'm all over the place. Me and Brokey, we ended up arguing and we ended up splitting up, right? So me and the girl, we had always had this like friendship where we would like kind of be flirty but also kind of be mean to each other, basically. So we was I was texting the girl and basically just doing what we usually do. And eventually me and Brokey ended up getting back together, of course. And I ended up blocking the girl on my messages because Brokey didn't like her and she wanted her off my social media. You know, I had to be loyal to my bitch. So I ended up blocking the girl. So me and the girl actually had plans to go to the movies, but I didn't go because obviously me and Brokey got back together. So I had blocked her, and, you know, basically just, you know, we just stopped talking because I blocked her. And I was at Brokey's house, and Brokey decided that she wanted to go through my phone. And I'm like, for what? And I really feel like it's because she was so threatened by this girl. Like, she was so threatened by her because that was the last person I had talked to, and obviously the girl's not ugly. So I really feel like Brokey was threatened by her. So she randomly was like, let me see your phone. And I'm like, she asked me my permission if it was okay for her to go through my phone. And I said, yeah, like, you already knew my situation with the other girl. I blocked her. I stopped talking to her. So when we got back together, so why does it even matter? Whatever we were saying didn't matter at that time. So she went through my phone and she saw the messages between me and the girl. And she got really, really, really fucking mad. Now, y'all, this part is crazy, okay? So she goes to my phone. She reads the messages. She knows that me and the girl had plans to go to the movies. Me and the girl, she saw all of our text messages being flirty and just all this stuff. She saw it all. And at this point, I didn't feel like it really mattered because this was while we were not together, for one. And for two, the girl is blocked. I don't have any type of contact with her no more, nothing. So I'm like, it doesn't even matter. Like, what you really mad for? So after seeing our messages, she got so fucking mad. She got so fucking mad. She threw my phone. She fucking choked me so fucking hard. She threw all my shit. She kicked me out her house. She told me to get out. She wouldn't let me grab my shoes. So I literally left her house with no shoes on. I had to contact my mom. She threw my wallet. She threw my phone like twice. She had me up against the wall, like trying to confront me and all that stuff. Like, you didn't tell me. You didn't tell me. You plan to go to the movies with this girl. You ain't tell me. Just all up in my face. And at the time, I was so fragile that, like, I'm like, damn, like, hold on. I'm mad little. So I'm like, chill. If it was me today, that situation would have went a lot different. I definitely would have stood up for myself. I really would have defended myself. And I'm kind of mad at myself for not defending myself at the time. Because I'm like, you can't, this is a whole ass female. I had every right to defend myself and swing. I didn't. And I'm really mad at myself for it. I was such a little bitch. Like, ugh, it irritates me that I did not stand up for myself. So please don't be in the comments talking shit, okay? So yeah, she kicked me out her house. She was really fucking disrespectful, calling me out my name, all that shit, all because she saw those messages. Mind you, she was talking to these bitches early in the morning, talking to mad bitches, talking to her exes, all that shit. And you want to get mad at me now that you got a taste of your own medicine? Okay, that's narcissist behavior. That's toxic behavior. So, yeah, she kicked me out her house. My mom came and got me. My mom was ready to fucking fight. Like, my mom wanted to fight the bitch so fucking bad. But, you know, it didn't happen. I got my shoes back, by the way. Yeah, I go on Facebook, right? Of course. Go on Facebook. She write on Facebook, she's like, wrote this whole last paragraph on Facebook, basically putting the whole entire situation out there and telling people how she's hurt and she feels betrayed and how I was telling the girl I wanted her to do me with the which is really not true, because I don't not interested in that whatsoever. So yeah, like, she put the whole entire situation on Facebook. And she basically just made me look hella bad. And at this time, she had already went viral because she had this viral video that she posted that had over 1 million views. So, of course, after that, you go and get some. She have even more. She had this already. So, she had all her commenting on her stat, talking shit about me. These girls don't know me from a hole in the wall. Basically, just completely victimized herself and just made me look like a terrible ass person. So at this point, the whole fucking city damn near hated me at this point. Like, I had people coming onto my page, her friends coming onto my page, like, getting rowdy with me, trying to fight me. These random I didn't know trying to, like, come at me and shit. And I'm like, y'all don't even know the situation. You know what she is telling you. And this girl is a compulsive ass liar. And she really just victimized herself like crazy. Like, she never put out there the shit that she did to me. But she gonna put that one situation that happened between me and her while we were not together. Like, really? Like, that really makes no sense. And then at that, like, she's talking about some, even if we're not together, that's still wrong to talk to an ex or whatever. And I'm like, sis, when we were not together, and even when we were together, you were talking to different, like, come on now. And she even admitted on one of the stats, she was like, all the girls I was talking to were while we were not together. I'm like, okay, and this situation with this girl happened to when we were not together. So what's really the difference? Like, there is no difference. You was doing it too. So therefore, all the stuff that you just did was hella fucking unnecessary. So yeah, like, everybody basically hated me at that point. And I was so mad that she really put that out on Facebook. And then one time, I think I had texted her because I was trying to, like, talk to her about the situation. And she was basically telling people that I could die and whatever. Just mad. Like, it was not that serious to me, but whatever. So she wrote another post on Facebook, basically just telling people how I'm a catfish, how everybody think I'm cute until I take my wig and makeup off. Just completely bashing me on Facebook. And people was really laughing at that, and that really made me feel some type of way, because I had told her that at the time I had a lot of insecurities with how I looked, and I had just big chopped my hair, so I had this mini afro that was the shortest my hair has ever been in my life. So I was basically telling her this because she was my girlfriend and I was comfortable about it. So I let her know my insecurities, and she gets mad and she blasts my insecurities. Like, she puts my insecurities against me and puts it on Facebook so that it's public. And that was really fucked up to me. So people were basically making fun of me, calling me a clown, like all this stuff, like for really no reason, to be honest with you. So at this point I got fed up and I had posted a post myself. I posted a picture of me with makeup and without makeup, and I wrote a post on Facebook about it, and like people gave me a lot of love because of that. And that actually that situation made me a lot stronger, because I felt like I'm not gonna let nobody tear me down. I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna work through my insecurities myself. And when I finally posted that picture of me without makeup, that was my first time posting a no makeup picture of myself in a very, very, very long time. So that really helped me with my confidence. And after that, I was just walking out with no makeup with no problem. People were still trying to hit at me, still trying to get my numbers, still wanted me to join their little relationship still. So I'm like, nigga, I'm that bitch, period, with and without me. Swore up and down she had money. Like, this girl had so many posts with money and guns and all this stuff, and she would lie telling me how she shot people and how she was gonna buy me things, never brought me shit, never saw a gun in my life, never saw no money. Like, I'm like, girl, I'm with you every single day. We would go eat at McDonald's and stuff. I would not see her have no money. One time she asked me if I could buy her a chicken sandwich and she with my card, and she'll give me the money back. So I brought the chicken sandwich. Tell me why this girl gives me a whole bunch of change. I'm like, sis, where's all that money that you flexing? Where is it? And she got exposed so many times about having fake money. It was crazy, okay? So the girl never had no money. She never had no guns, never had no nothing. So I'm like, bruh, I was so dumb in this relationship, it made no sense. Basically, moral of the story is, don't be a me. Do not be that dumb bitch. Because even after all that stuff happened, I was still with her. I still went back to her. We still was together. Like, it's crazy. Like, I put up with a lot of stuff with that girl. But yeah, if you're in a toxic relationship, please try your best to get out. They can mess you up mentally and emotionally. You could form trust issues. Your relationships in the future could be affected because of that relationship, and that's not what you want. Like, it's better people out there. Know your worth. Know that you deserve better. Know that you can have better, girl. Like, do not let these toxic people run all over you. And that situation made me grow a lot. Like, I do not tolerate the things that I used to tolerate with her. If I could go back in time, I would punch myself in the fucking face. Like, bitch, you're goofy as hell for continuing to go back to this girl after all that. Like, that shit was crazy. And that was my first relationship ever, which made it worse. But that's it for this video, you guys, and hopefully you enjoyed. I know the story time was all over the place, but I wanted to put a video out for you guys because I haven't posted it in months. So yes, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. Please give it a thumbs up and comment down below. Video suggestions, let me know, because I'm trying to get these videos out for y'all, period. So I'll see you later. Bye.